All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Brad Roltgen. This is the Fresno Bitcoin and cryptocurrency investors meetup. We do these once a month, usually the first, second, third, well, about the second Saturday of each month. And we talk about a different topic. I'm always looking for new topics, what you guys are looking to learn about, share about, that kind of thing. This is designed to be an open format. Everybody share, so feel free to jump in and share your experiences and what you guys have learned about and hopefully can share with others. Today we're going to be talking about wallets and exchanges. You know, it's kind of a beginner's topic in that, you know, we've got to store our coins somewhere and you know, use an exchange to buy a different coin with what we started with. But they're actually getting a little more advanced in the sense that there's a lot of, you know, DeFi projects and things that are a little more complicated and, you know, connecting wallets to DeFi exchanges and that kind of thing. So we'll talk a little bit about that, you know, in more detail than what we've done in the past. One thing I want to start with on the wallets is just to give beginners a kind of like a visual understanding of what the wallets are. Normally we think of wallets as where we store, you know, our $20 bills, or hopefully a couple $100 bills, and, you know, probably more $1 and $5 bills. But in the crypto space, the our wallets are actually storing our wallet address and the private key. You know, this is all electronic stuff. The funds are actually stored on the blockchain. And so let me give you kind of an illustration between the two. Oh, was somebody jumping in there? Got a question? Okay, so let me give you this illustration real quick, just so you can kind of understand the difference. And when you think about setting these up, hopefully it'll help a little bit. So let's say that Walter invited me to go to the lake with him on his boat. And he said, hey, Brad, you know, meet at the boat ramp at 9 o'clock in the morning, bring a lunch and, you know, a couple bottles of water, because we're going to be out there for a few hours. And then bring a few bucks. We're going to, on the way back home, we're going to grab pizza, you know, kind of thing. So I said, okay, great. I drive out there. I've got, I meet him at the boat ramp. I, you know, lock my car up. I've got a backpack where I've got a couple bottles of water. I've got my lunch. I throw my keys and my wallet into the backpack because I'm, you know, wearing the swim trunks and a t-shirt and don't have any pockets for those things. So day goes on, we're driving around in the boat, something happens. Oh, and in my wallet, I've got two $20 bills to, you know, buy some pizza and maybe 2 pizzas or whatever. So day goes on. Somehow something happens, something crazy happens, and my wallet or my whole backpack goes overboard, sinks to the bottom of the lake, you know, with my keys and my wallet and everything. So fortunately I'd eaten lunch, so I'm not that hungry. But I've lost my wallet. I've lost the $40 in my wallet, and I've lost my keys. But I haven't lost my car because I just need to get another set of keys. And so it's a similar thing with the crypto, where if something happens with our wallet, we can back it up with our 12-word seed phrase, or we can use the private key to restore it, that kind of thing. So, you know, if you've got a wallet like Exodus on your cell phone and you drop your phone in the toilet and it, you know, gets waterlogged and dies, you know, you can restore that wallet on another device, that kind of thing. So that's the difference between crypto and, you know, and a physical wallet. So if you think of them as just the private keys, that's what's actually in the wallet and what is in those devices that are storing that for you. So let me go back to
a quick question.
Yeah.
So you can restore that, but you would need a copy of that wallet. So you basically need a second wallet to restore that, wouldn't you, or would you?
Well, remember what I said, the wallet is only storing our wallet address and our private key. And it's the private key that allows us to access or move the funds out of our wallet. You know, it's think of it as a password. The private key is like like the password to our wallet. So that's what we
Right,
need
but you
to
need to have
access.
that stored somewhere else, wouldn't you? Or do you, or what?
Right. So you could write down your private key. Usually the most common way is to write down a 12-word seed phrase. So when you create your wallet, it'll say, okay, here's your 12-word seed phrase. Write this down in case you need to restore your wallet on another device, that kind of thing. And so it'll give you the 12 words, and a lot of the good ones will make you enter that 12-word seed phrase on the next screen just to make sure that you've actually done it, as opposed to skipping over it. Oh, I don't need to do that, type of thing. Because, if you lose your phone or it falls in the lake or something like that, there's nobody to call to reset your password or to restore. So, because, in crypto, it's the Wild West. It's up to us to do everything. We need to be in control. There's not, a bank to go to, a credit union or brokerage to go to. We have to be in control of all that. So it's a great question. We just need to know how to do that. Usually it's a 12-word seed phrase at the beginning of that process, and you just want to store that somewhere safely, because if somebody finds it, your kid, your neighbor or something, they could literally restore your wallet on their device, drain your funds, and you go back to look at it the next day and you're like, my funds are gone, type of thing. So
I don't know if you're going to get into this later or not, but I guess could you address the question? 12 words, that doesn't sound very complex.
That's just kind of the standard. Were you looking for a technical answer, or
yeah,
what?
maybe it's too technical. I mean, you could talk about like some of the, like what words are, like how the words match, like have to be in a certain order, obviously, and there's encryption behind those 12 words, I guess, in terms of like the blockchain and stuff like that. So it sounds, I mean, to a layperson, from my perspective, it sounds kind of scary or weak even, but I guess there's billions of dollars wrapped up in it, so I guess it's trustworthy. That would be my best argument.
Okay, yeah. I don't know, who decided this way back when, but so many of the tokens and coins are kind of using the EVM or the Ethereum virtual machine, technology. So they all use the same type of addresses and the same type of 12 words. I mean, if you think about how many words are out there, and then you have a combination of 12 of them in a specific order, it gets, mind-boggling how many combinations you can have. But it's funny because the words are not that complex. Usually they're 4 to maybe 7-digit words. It's not like they're long words like you might expect. So interesting.
I think it
question.
sounds like if you're picking words, you're picking a password, and that sounds kind of vulnerable, but you're not. There's a lot of it is a very complex thing, and there's a lot of math behind it. So that's all. That was
the thing you have to keep in mind is you're not picking those 12 words.
No, I understand that. I was just clarifying for folks that are doing this for the first time or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, good question. Let me just to give us a place to start. Let me share this screen. And yeah, I'm going to get set up if anybody else wants to share. But I've got, all right. So I have this getting started page on my website, brecrypto.com. And so here I've got a list of a few different wallets and some ideas why that you'd want to do those. So if you're looking, hopefully we'll get this information and more into the Google Doc here as we go. But here's a place you can kind of go just to give you a couple places to start. Here's first one here. Number 1 is for the wallets type of thing, and then number 2 starts with the exchanges and why, that kind of thing. So let me throw that link into the page here, getting started. Okay, so we got Ledger Wallet and MetaMask. What are you guys using for just standard wallets? Not the DeFi stuff kind of yet, but using like the Exodus wallet, Trust wallet. What do you got? Some of the wallets that you guys are using?
I wanted to ask because I recently pulled up the Coinbase wallet, and I think that's a newer aspect, but I wasn't sure, like, is it good? What are the differences between the platforms where the wallets are housed? Are there good ones? Are there bad ones? Does it matter?
Yeah, let's define that a little bit. So for our discussion today, when we talk about wallets, we're going to be talking about either programs on our computer or apps on our phone that are storing the private keys. And as opposed to a lot of times people call the wallets inside of Coinbase. Now, I think you're talking about Coinbase launched a new wallet like we're talking about, but a lot of people think their standard Coinbase account on the web or on the phone as a wallet. But to us, we're going to call that
That's the exchange, right? So you have Coinbase as the exchange and Coinbase Wallet as your wallet, right?
You could, yeah, potentially, yeah. And I just to answer your question real quick, I have not used the Coinbase wallet as of yet, and I haven't really heard anybody discuss it. So hopefully we can get some feedback here. But just to kind of differentiate between those two, the exchange is where the company is storing the private keys, and you never went through the process of putting in getting the 12 words and regurgitating it to install the wallet, that kind of thing. If you're unsure, if you don't know if you have a private key or not, you probably don't. And so that's, a little unsafe because somebody else is in control of those funds. So our goal here is to store funds that we're not actively trading in a wallet where we control the private keys. So one of the ones that I've used for a long time is the Exodus wallet. You go to exodus.com, you can grab that on your computer as well as your phone, and then you can link those two together. So you have the same funds in both of them and you can access the same. So Robert, as far as your question about backing it up, that's a way that you can have them in two places, and it's probably unlikely that you're going to lose your phone and your computer is going to die at the same time. So if you lost one, you'd still have it on the other one, all the time. Uh-oh, we get some feedback here.
Who's that?
I didn't quite follow that. Wait, so if you're saying if you have the Exodus wallet and then you also have, and then how is that redundant? Did you say?
Yeah, so it's redundant in that you can have it installed on your phone and on your computer, and it's the same account and wallet addresses. So it's on the same on two devices. So if you lost one device, you'd still have the other one, immediately. You wouldn't even have to reinstall or do anything because you'd have both of them there. So
now,
that
does
makes
that
nice.
mean, but if it's in that wallet, that second wallet is in basically a sort of a crypto brokerage account, right? Or is it?
No. In these we're talking, they're just wallets. There's no trading, that kind of, or that kind of thing. Some of them do have functions to swap into other coins or trade, but it's usually, a little more expensive than doing it on an exchange. And it's, it's not like an active trade, like if you're trying to, day trade or, short-term trade some coins.
Hey, Brad, on
All right,
the
I'm
Coinbase wallet.
confused. So this wallet on the computer. So this is one wallet, but it has an image on the computer as well as, except the wallet itself is in the computer. So I don't understand the second, the sort of second image or whatever it is you described.
Well, you think of it like you access Facebook.
Yeah.
From your phone and from your computer, but you have one Facebook account.
Right.
It's similar, but with the wallet. where it's the same account number, just like you might access your Bank of America account on your phone
Yeah,
and your computer.
okay.
So if you're not sure, I mean, this is a good one to start with if you're unsure, because you have that option to go both ways. Some people like to do it on the computer versus the phone. Some people like the phone versus the computer. This way you can do both, and you could literally switch back
Yeah, that would be great.
whenever you want. So like I use it on my phone fairly regularly, but I have it on a computer that I only ever turn that computer on to do Exodus and one other thing. So it's normally, offline type of thing. So for me, it became a pain to use it on the computer, but on the phone, it makes it real easy type of thing. So who is jumping in on the Coinbase wallet?
That was me, Brad.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I was just going to say on that, sometimes in the industry, people look at it as a project's kind of has reached a certain status. Like, so if Coinbase allows you into they might not allow you on their exchange, but when they do, because obviously they'll put you through some kind of rigor to allow you to have, for people to store their crypto on that wallet. So sometimes it's seen as a status level for different projects.
Okay. And are they supporting any DeFi on the Coinbase wallet yet?
Sometimes they do. I mean, it just, again, they'll put it through some kind of, latency test, make sure it's got certain protocol to it. But I believe, they'll bring in, certain things, but you won't find it. If you're into, obscure kind of, newer based projects necessarily, it's not going to be on there. So it's good to, if you're one that likes more of a, something that's more, already tested, tried and true, like, that if it's on there, usually that means it's got some level of status to it.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking. All right. Right. If these mainstream wallets are supporting a coin or a token, it's gotten to a point where it's legitimized type of thing.
True. Of course, anything could go wrong, but.
Right. But no, that's kind of like a mini review process. Okay, good. Let me try to answer a couple questions before they get too far off the chat thing here. So what wallets have 12-word seed words? So you said Coinbase and Robinhood. Robinhood and eToro, I'm going to put in the no, avoid, just stay away from those. Unless something has changed recently, from what I've seen is those are you're just paper trading the crypto, because you can't move the crypto off of that or send crypto to your account at one of those two. And to me, I mean, we're trying to get away from the banks and the control and all that type of thing. And Robinhood just, it isn't doing that. So stay away from those. The Coinbase wallet, like we just were talking about, that should have a seed phrase, when you're setting that up. But it sounds like it does. Okay.
Mhm.
Good.
Some do give an option of 24 words. There are some projects out there that do give you that option.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. We've got, let's see. Hold on. We got somebody with their hand up. Go ahead.
I just had a quick question. I'm sorry. What is DeFi? What does DeFi mean? I'm not familiar with that vocabulary.
Okay. So DeFi stands for decentralized finance.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. And so those are projects like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, and all the things that go on those blockchains that have smart contracts.
Got you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and yeah, great question. And it sounds like you know what that is, and it was just a terminology thing. So sometimes it's just a terminology that, what are they talking about? So thank you for the question. Okay, you said you had Phantom. Tell us about Phantom. I hadn't heard of that one here. That's a wallet or an exchange?
I'm so sorry. It's a wallet, and it's specific for Solana. So Bitcoin or Solana, if you're interested in that as crypto.
Okay, good. So yeah, that's an example of, so it's going to support the DeFi on Solana.
Yeah, it allows for staking of Solana. So that's the advantage to it versus like Coinbase doesn't allow staking for Solana.
Good, good. Okay, excellent.
It might be helpful to talk about like a wallet that connects directly to the blockchain versus a wallet that connects to, or like an account where you're logged into like a Coinbase to help maybe with Robert's question.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to explain that a little bit?
Well, like
Dan?
Exodus, Exodus is just you know, you have, there is no real intermediary in that. You have private keys, you have, the Coinbase is just providing a front end, and on the back end, they are doing the interfacing with the blockchain. This thing in the middle, you were asking Robert earlier about like, how do you access it from anywhere? The blockchain just lives in the internet, in the cloud. There's just this thing called the blockchain, and you could connect to that with it directly with a wallet. Like I'll keep using Exodus. I'm pretty sure they are. You have your private keys there, but so you could connect to that blockchain directly with something like Exodus, or the alternative is you go through something like Coinbase and you trust them to store your coins and your keys, and then they can also cut you off at any point. So Exodus is kind of a round, going around any intermediary, and you're directly connecting. If your wallet is lost in the lake, you go, and as long as you have your private keys, you just go to a new computer, install Exodus, drop your 12 words in there, and then they connect to the blockchain again for you, and now you have your quote unquote balance back in your wallet.
Good. Thank you. Does that help, Robert?
Still a little confused. It's a bit helpful. Something I'm missing there, but
The blockchain isn't an entity, it's a thing.
I understand what the
Okay.
blockchain is. I
Okay,
know
all right.
that's distributed over a bunch of computers and it's one place kind of. Yeah,
Okay.
I get that. But something about this wallet or, you draw these distinctions and then you're saying if it was somewhere, then you don't really have don't really have control over it or something like that about the wallet and some other kind of entity.
Yeah, Coinbase is just making a pretty website that allows you to interface with the blockchain easier. Back in the day when they came around, there were wallet options were limited, so they were kind of first to market with the best.
What entity is that you just mentioned?
Oh, Coinbase, just as an example.
Oh, Coinbase.
Yeah.
I mean, Coinbase is like a brokerage firm, isn't it?
To some degree, yeah.
No, not really.
No, it is, but it's not. I mean, they're sometimes, like, hypothetically, they could be selling you their own coins, and so they're not necessarily doing every transaction on the blockchain directly. And so, yeah. So, but it all registers on the blockchain eventually. Yes. They're just a third-party intermediary that you have to trust versus something like Exodus where there's no trust involved.
Yeah. So for our discussion, it's the exchanges are the places that you can't, you have to trust them. And so it's a little, we don't want to trust them. We want to move the things to our own wallets. And so the wallets is where we control the private keys. The exchanges, we do not control the private keys. It's kind of just to make the difference there.
Now you'd mentioned avoiding Robinhood and avoiding something else. Now Robinhood is also a conventional, like a stock brokerage firm that's regulated and all that. It would seem they might be a lot safer, but you were saying to avoid them. And why is that? Is they charge extra fees or something? Or
no, it seems like they hardly charge any fees because they're selling the transaction data to other people to earn their revenue. But why I don't like them is they don't allow you to transfer your Bitcoin off of their exchange or to transfer your Bitcoin from your wallet to their exchange. So to me, all they're doing is they're just trading paper or electronic paper because you actually can't move your coins to there or take them off. So it's more like they're just speculating with the trades and they're not doing them on the blockchain. So that gets a little more technical, but if
I follow
those two exchanges don't fit in everything else we're doing in crypto, where if you go to Coinbase and you're like, oh, I got, my 2 Bitcoin, I want to store them somewhere else, you just transfer them. Well, if you had 2 Bitcoin in Robinhood, you have to keep them there. You can't move them because they don't allow that. PayPal is the same way. I think PayPal is trying to support actual crypto blockchain transactions. So just let's stay away from. Let me catch up with some of these questions
Sure,
before
thank
it
you. You
gets too
explained
late.
that, yes.
Good. Let's see, Karen. Let me ask you about. You talked about. Oh yeah, Coinbase Wallet. So tell us about that a little bit and what you like or don't like.
I just use it to move my money there temporarily before I go and put it on my cold storage wallet.
Okay.
Just so it's not on the exchange and I have at least some control over my keys.
Perfect. So roughly how many coins and tokens is the Coinbase Wallet supporting?
I never actually counted, and they're adding there all the time, but I do have some coins that they don't support, like my VeChain, they don't support. They weren't always supporting Doge, but they do now. So I have someone there. I'm about to move to my cold storage wallet. The wallet doesn't do near as many as the actual exchange, but like I said, they're constantly adding them to the wallet.
Okay, good. Thanks for the feedback on that, definitely. And then you mentioned Atomic Wallet, which I haven't used yet, but I have looked at, and to me, it looked like the next one that I would, try if I needed another one. My theory is, the fewer we have, the better. And as long as, we have one that's supporting the tokens, I'll just keep using that one. But that one, so how do you like that? And have you used that versus Exodus or anything else?
I actually just used it briefly because I wanted to see what it was like. I mean, it's no better, no worse than most other wallets, but I do use Metamask. I forgot to list that one, but I use Metamask because I can use that one to like buy on different, like I was looking at Sandbox and some other things. So Metamask I could use for those. Atomic Wallet you can't use for a lot of stuff. So it's on my computer, but I don't really use it often.
Do they have an app as well?
I haven't seen an app. I looked for one on my phone in the Play Store. I didn't see it yet. I mean, they may have one now. It's probably been a few months since I looked.
Yeah.
Looks like they do have it for the phone now.
Yeah.
When I got it, it was strictly for the computer.
Good. Okay. So that's another one. And I think they supported DeFi a little bit. That's a nice thing about the Trust Wallet, is only on the phone, but it supports, a fair amount of, DeFi networks. So that's good, or blockchains. Cool. Okay. And then this Elapal Titan, I've never heard of that one. Trezor and Ledger are like the big ones there. So is there something that you didn't like on those and why you went with these guys?
Number one, because the Ledger, they're small. I'm getting older now. I need something I can actually read. The Elapal actually has a nice large screen, so you can actually read the screen. Also, it's air gap, so it's not on the web at all, which is nice.
So how do you, is there a program that you use to access it on your computer? And then, I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah, there is, but everything's done with QR codes.
Okay.
It does have an actual program that you'll put on your, I have it on my phone. I'll move everything into that, but unless you actually have to physically sign the wallet, it's not really signed. You have to actually put in a code in order to put anything on it, and you have to scan QR codes. But the physical hardware wallet is not online at all. So your keys go to that, and that's where they're locked up. And on that one, you have to have either 12 or 24 words for that one. If you lose it, you're kind of screwed. Also with that one, it has a feature where if someone were to get it and they try to like break it open or whatever, it destroys the program inside.
Okay, so that sounds like much more sophisticated and complex than the Ledger. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I did a lot of research before, and I I don't know. I like the idea that it's air gap. That was the big selling point for me on that one.
Do you find it cumbersome to use?
It's a little cumbersome to use, but I just feel like my coins are protected more
Okay.
on that one. So, and as long as like I could lose that one, but as long as I know I have the seed words, then I can always buy a new one, and then I have to put those words into that one, and it would pull up the account.
Good. Okay, good. No, it sounds like it's working. Okay, I've set a few more people up to be able to edit on the document. And oh, Christopher, you want let me reshare that in the chat. Excellent point.
Now, are these wallets all software wallets, or some of these are talking about hardware wallets, or what?
What we were just discussing was a hardware wallet. Usually the Trezor or the Ledger are like USB devices that you connect to your computer just when you're going to use them, type of thing, as opposed to, you know, the software app or program that's running on our computers or phones. Yeah. And then when they're disconnected, our private keys are not connected to the internet anyway. So they, you know, even if there's a virus running on your computer, any kind of malware, it can't access the private key because it's physically disconnected, you know, and stored in your safe or your stock drawer or something like that.
I see that to some extent, but it seems that the virus could just be sitting there waiting, and then when you plug it in, then it could go for it, couldn't it? Or not?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Yep. Okay. Let's see. We've got, if you have MetaMask wallet on your computer, how do you access it from a different computer or phone? So the easiest way to do that is when you go to install the wallet, it'll ask you if you want to create a new one or restore a backup or something like that. And you would say restore a backup, and you would enter your 12 words. And then boom, it would come up on that second or third or fourth device, that kind of thing. And you can do that cross devices, or cross programs. So for example, if you created your MetaMask wallet on your phone, and then you wanted to do the Trust wallet on your phone, you could restore that same address into Trust, even though you created it in MetaMask. So that 12 word is specific to that blockchain, and it's not just that one device. So you can go in between different applications or programs, which makes that nice. All right, let's see.
You say between different programs. I don't. What do you mean by that? I mean, you either have a wallet or you have an account on one of these exchanges, right?
What I meant by that is the difference between a MetaMask wallet and the Trust wallet. You can use the same 12-word seed phrase on either one, and you can restore on one or the others.
Is it with some wallets? Can you not do that? Or I seems you could do that with any wallet, right?
Like for example, on X, when you're doing it on MetaMask, that's coming from the blockchain. But this is a question let me throw out there. When you're doing it on like Exodus, that technically the way I understand is that you're actually going through the Exodus company to get that back. Can anybody elaborate or help on that? Because the issue there is that Exodus supports so many different coins that it's beyond just, yeah, that's a complex question. Can anybody help with that? Okay, we're all stumped there.
Can you repeat it?
Yeah, so on like MetaMask, you get the 12-word seed phrase, and you can restore that in a Trust wallet, and then you get your BNB or your Ethereum wallet back, because those are all using the same EVM technology or protocol. But when you're doing it the same thing in like Exodus wallet, they're supporting 100, 150 different tokens. My thought is that 12-word seed phrase is actually going back to Exodus, and somehow they're storing, your information at Exodus to get back, as opposed to just all of it coming from the blockchain independent of Exodus.
I think that might be right. I mean, they are pretty, I wouldn't see them as completely DeFi, so I would agree with that statement. That
it seems like there's too much information involved for it just to come from the blockchain, especially when there's so many different types of coins. But I don't want to get too technical here. And yeah. Okay, let's see. We got Christopher. Can you also comment on IRS reporting for exchanges and wallets? Yeah, so the exchanges that support linking to a bank account are generally requiring more KYC from us to get set up and established with them. And so I'm sure those guys are reporting whatever they need to do as entities, institutions, whatever, to the IRS. My best strategy is I use cointracking.info, and I'm attempting to report everything I'm doing, whether it's a US account, based US based exchange or not, or if it's a wallet or anything. And I'm just doing the best I can to report everything. I'm not trying to hide anything, that type of deal. It require, maybe the Coinbase is reporting what I'm doing in Coinbase, but I'm also reporting it as part of what the cointracking.info system is pulling out of Coinbase to do. But I would think that there's got to be at least some overseas exchanges that are not reporting to the IRS, because they gave the IRS a middle finger and said, we're not going to support US customers, type of thing. So yeah, but I mean, if we're all being honest, that's my best strategy.
Yeah.
As far as that goes.
For instance, like Kucoin, at least when I was initially used, I don't use it much anymore, but on some of them you have the option to KYC or not. They just put certain limitations on you, and I don't know if they work something out with the U.S. government that is something that they kind of look the other way if they put these restrictions on you. But there are some that, even though they to get full access you need KYC, but you can use it and still extract, just not as much.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like a Bitcoin or two per day, which is well within my limits, so I don't worry about it.
Right, exactly.
But
Yeah, I always see those. I'm laughing. That's there.
Yeah, I've seen some that get a little bit lower. So yeah, and Ray says, not your keys, not your coins. That's the best. That's what it comes down to. So perfect. Let's see, we've got a hand up again. Go ahead, A. Or was that still up from before?
Hey, no, sorry. I just had a couple questions. Start with, what is KYC?
Know your customer. That's what banks started, about 10 or 12 years ago. Really, if you get a bank account, they're like, okay, where do you work? How much do you make? As opposed to you be able to just, right, all that good stuff.
The second question, and this, I'm missing something here. Like you were saying, Exodus, you're pretty comfortable, it sounds like, with the safety on that, as far as Exodus wallet, as far as it's being on the phone and being on the computer and all of that. My understanding is, and I may be wrong or not understanding something here, is that anytime you're storing online, you're running the possibility of having your wallet slashed. You have other issues like that, and therefore cold storage is slightly better because of that. Is cold storage sort of not a thing anymore, or is that sort of being phased out in favor of these online things? And how is the security working with that?
Yeah, no, okay, I only got a couple things to go through. So I don't think cold storage is being phased out. Like Karen talked about, her solution is way more complex, sophisticated, and I'm sure we'll even get more of that as time goes. And it's still a good thing. And now when you say, what you said, if a wallet is online, you know, at some point, everything has to be online to be able to function with the blockchain.
Right.
But when you say are you referring to like an exchange that we have to go on
Right.
online to
For
see?
instance, the Solana wallet is basically it's handled through a Chrome extension, essentially.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So it's a wallet. I've got the seed phrase. I've got all of that stuff. I just wonder how secure it is from slashing, other things like that, versus having money in cold storage, having that in cold storage.
Okay, define slashing. I haven't really heard that. Is that another term that?
Oh, and I'm sorry, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not any blockchain expert by any means. My limited understanding of slashing is that it's just a way to get at. It's a way to hack into your wallet, and I guess they call it slashing. And it's a fairly common way to get in for hackers to get to your monies, to get into your wallet.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes they come up with these terms that are for a specific process, like when you I don't have a good example, but okay, I just hadn't heard that term before. So if you're, it's on your computer, so when you're on the internet with your computer, potentially anything could happen. So to be safer, you could disconnect your computer from the internet, like that example I gave you earlier of the Exodus wallet that I had on a computer, or I still have on the computer, that I don't ever turn on.
Oh,
so literally,
so you have it on a separate computer that's not even connected online.
the network cable is plugged in, but 99.9% of the time the computer is off. The power's off. I don't use it for anything.
Let's assume I am almost always online on the internet. The way I use the computer, yeah, it's it's going. I'm always going to be online.
Yeah,
going on.
So generally, first of all, when you're done with an exchange or a swap or whatever with that DeFi plugin, you want to disconnect from that, Pancake Swap or Uniswap or whatever one you're using. So usually they have a function to disconnect, which disconnects it. Right. Yeah. So there's the software that's, not letting them talk. And then usually in the wallet, you can either log out or lock or some other function of the wallet. So you have to type in your password to get into it.
Okay.
And for me, doing those two things should keep you pretty safe.
Okay.
Nothing's 100%. But, as far as just accidentally doing something, or that should keep you pretty safe.
Okay. My next question, because I've also heard Robinhood is not great. And one of the major issues I have with it is just when you're working with Robinhood or any of those companies, their websites have been known to go down. And it's like, you can't call Robinhood if they decide, oh, the stock market's acting too hot today and we're taking the website offline. And they will do things like that. They have a history of doing things like that. Does having a cold storage wallet mean that you can work around that essentially? Because that's a concern for me with any of those. Solana's gone down, Robinhood's gone down, any of the major companies. So
okay, yeah, so there's kind of a line, there's kind of a, basically what you've talked about is kind of the good and the bad. So we're going to kind of define where that line between those two is. So when you say Solana went down, are you talking about like their website or the blockchain?
The website.
The website.
Yeah, so like you could
so you couldn't access
get your funds in or out of the wallet, anything. Okay,
that's you guys are going to come up with some good questions, so making me think here. So with your Solana, your funds are in your wallet, and so you have to connect to a website, or they call it a DeFi app, which is just a fancy term for a website that connects to a wallet to do that functionality. I just started playing with Solana about a month ago, and I saw some different exchanges. And so there's other exchanges that you could use besides the Solana website.
Right.
Have you used any other ones?
I've used Coinbase as an exchange.
No,
a little
no,
bit.
no, but one that where you connected your wallet, your plug-in wallet.
No, you mean like a cold wallet?
No, just like instead of going to Solana to
Oh,
to exchange, you went to a different site.
no, I basically went on Coinbase, bought my Solana and transferred it over to Phantom and staked it. And I also bought some Bitcoin off of Coinbase. That was it.
Okay, so when you talked about the Solana website going down,
Like yeah, Solana.
I put a link in the chat. There's the blockchain. There was an outage on the Solana blockchain that she might be referring to.
okay,
I may
okay.
not be using the vocabulary correctly because I'm also quite new at this. So
Okay, no problem. Where I was going is in the DeFi space, there are a number of exchanges, like PancakeSwap is the big one on BNB. There's also Kucoin. That's a bad example because it actually uses the back end of PancakeSwap. But there's other exchanges that you can go to if one of them is down. And because you're connecting your wallet to that exchange, it doesn't really matter if one goes down or the other because the funds are in your wallet.
all right.
So this is kind of a DeFi discussion we're talking about here. If it's a centralized, that's different. But the line, I kind of remember I said the line between the good and bad is that your funds are in a wallet that you control the private keys. In this case, it's the browser plugin, but it could also be the Exodus or Trust or something else.
Right. So, for instance, Coinbase does not support Solana, but if I had the keys, I could take it out of Coinbase and put it into another exchange that would support Solana.
If we're talking about the Coinbase wallet,
Makes
yes,
sense?
the Coinbase exchange or website, that's an exchange where they control the private keys. So if they decide to freeze you or take the website down or limit, what happened a lot in 17 when Ethereum was going up so much, they would limit withdrawals for like 12 hours. Like you couldn't withdraw Ethereum for 12 hours or Bitcoin for 12 hours
That
kind
was
of thing.
my concern on that. So that's
Yeah.
with more the exchange.
Right. So that's where the exchanges are bad, wallets are good.
Okay.
Whether it's Exodus wallet or a cold storage wallet, in that regard is irrelevant. The cold storage is still safer, but to alleviate the problem you're looking at, Exodus would still be fine, Trust would still be fine.
Right. Okay. Is there like my understanding, and again, this is my limited understanding of Solana, for instance, they support that Phantom wallet specifically. That's why I'm super wary of them because I've seen the way their exchanges go. They do go down. So is that any sort of an issue? Like as far as a conflict of interest, is it possible that Solana crash and burn as a company and take that wallet with it?
It shouldn't be. And if you have the private keys in your wallet, you should still, as long as the blockchain is still up, you can, you still have access to your funds. So worst case scenario in that, if they go wonky, I would send your funds to an exchange that supported Solana and sell them as quick as you could, whether that was, Coinbase or Binance.us or Kucoin or whatever, that kind of thing.
Thank you, and sorry for all of the sort of newbie questions. I said I'm just sort of wrapping my head around some of the vocabulary, so sometimes I have to be like, slow down, wait, what does that mean? How would this work?
Yeah, no, you're great because you're gone beyond the basic steps of just the centralized stuff. So I love your question. So that's great. Thank you. We've got somebody asking about blockchain wallet. They've been around for a while. I've never really used them. Anybody use the blockchain wallet or website? I don't, when you talk, Kristen, when you're talking wallet, are we talking a software wallet or just like their exchange account and that whole thing?
The software wallet, that's the one my boyfriend uses. So I was just curious about if anybody had any other experience with it.
Okay. Yeah, anybody? Doesn't sound like it.
One thing to mention to you, Brad, just regarding computers, depending on how the operating system is set up, it is possible to actually turn the computer on remotely through the internet, or at least through the network, and I assume through the internet. So you may want to be aware of it. It would sound like, in other words, someone from the internet could, even though your computer is turned off, could turn it on. Of course, if the power is disconnected, then that wouldn't happen. At least on a desktop. Of course, a notebook is a battery, so the power wouldn't be connected.
Yeah, there's some wake on LAN commands and stuff, but yeah, that's you're getting really. That's yeah. Again, anything's possible.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if you're relying on your computer to be turned off, that it's not
Yeah.
necessarily completely
Yeah,
guaranteed
no,
to be isolated.
you're 100% right. Excellent point. But yeah, still be behind a router and whatever. Okay, let me continue. I'm trying to catch up. Edward asks, what about wallets that support Lightning? Great. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Edward, where do you, I was introduced to Lightning at least 3 years ago, and was just amazed with how well it seemed to work, and the fact that this was on the blockchain, on Bitcoin. And I'm like, wow, this could be game over for a ton of other coins because it's the big coin and it works so well. And all of a sudden, now I'm like, well, what happened to it? So because it seemed like that was the answer to using Bitcoin for our day-to-day trend, buying a $4 coffee at Starbucks or $10 worth of gas or, something at McDonald's type of thing. Where are you at on Lightning?
I mean, you're seeing it a lot like in El Salvador, right? It's a great test case for it where everybody's basically using Lightning. You could question the Chiva wallet they're using, but I think that you're going to see it more widely adopted elsewhere now. There was not a big retailer, but a big food store, a restaurant the other day that announced they were going to start using Bitcoin. So my point is that if you are hoping to go to a coffee shop, like you just said, and use Bitcoin to buy something, hypothetically, they would be expecting you to use Lightning. And so if your wallet doesn't support Lightning, then you may have an issue there. That was kind of my use case that I was thinking of when I said that, of like, if you're seeing Lightning more and more, you might want to adopt a wallet that uses Lightning as well. That was my thought.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's great. So the one that I got set up with was called Wallet of Satoshi. And there was another meetup group here in Fresno, back in the day when pre-COVID. I mean, like I said, this is like probably 3 years ago. And the leader of that group, introduced us to it and said, hey, install this on your phone. I'm going to come around and send you some Bitcoin. And so he did. And literally, we installed the app, showed the QR code, and he came around and scanned and hit send, and literally within 3 seconds, it was in our wallet. And it was actually going through his Lightning node and going through the app provider, which was in Australia. So for that to go through and get the transaction. Hey, Scott, is that you? Uh-oh. Okay, anyway, so it amazed me how quick it was and how cheap it was. And but that's been 3 years ago, and I haven't seen much else since then. I haven't seen any wallets that support other coins than support other coins like Exodus or Trust and support Lightning. Have you seen any, Edward? Because I just, like, this wallet of Satoshi is just like Lightning and Bitcoin only. That doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, I was muted. Eventually you'll probably see I would be more likely that you'd see the cryptocurrency wallets adding Litecoin as a component or feature of the Bitcoin wallet that you have on there. I'm guessing it's not going to go the other way. The wallets I'm dropping that support Lightning are all in the document are all pretty much Bitcoin only. That is true.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that. And hey, it looks like Scott from Idaho has jumped in here. If you're not accessing in the wallet, click that share access, Scott, and we'll get you jumping in. Now, yeah. So back to
I can't do that right now. I'm driving.
Oh, okay. We'll get you next time. Okay. Good to have you on, Scott. Yeah, Edward, on the back to El Salvador, because I try to keep up on articles when I can, and I did see some flack that was going on with that. Was it called Chiva wallet? That was it like the government was recommending that one or something?
Yeah, like basically if you wanted your distribution of
That's right.
whatever it was, $25, you had to use that wallet, I believe. But I mean, it's not like it's going to be widely used in the US ever, because it is pretty locked in or tied into the government.
Right. Now, so are they actually using the Lightning Network?
Yeah.
Down there?
Yeah, as far as I understand, yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense, because what they're doing, because I'm like, there's all these small, I've never seen Lightning referenced in any articles that I've read. Maybe I haven't read enough of them, that kind of thing. But
yeah, they're doing a lot of microtransactions. You walk up, you buy your beer, and it starts dispensing right away, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Good. Yeah, because Lightning, I think that, I mean, to me, it seems like the answer.
Yeah, solves a lot of problems for sure.
Yeah,
it's maturing finally. So,
but I mean, why hasn't it progressed quicker than? I mean, because it's been out for at least 3 years that I know of.
Are we comparing it to the Ethereum 2.0 launch? I'm just like,
well,
I'm just saying it's just normal open source drama. I mean, I'm sure they've been checking it and testing it, and all sorts of people have been adding their 2 cents or whatever. So I don't, eventually it'll be here. Yeah,
I mean, the last thing I saw, it sounded like there was problems with the nodes. Like the nodes were, because I was looking at running a node, and you put in $100 in the node, and you can, make fractions of a cent over time or whatever like that. But it sounded like there was technical problems with those going down or not functioning, maybe like they thought they were or something. So
I put this one in here, like it's called Start9, and you can certainly spin up a node, but this offers a lot of other functions and features. It's an interesting product, but one of those is a node, and it's not really an offline wallet, but you can run a node on there and you can do a bunch of other stuff. So I think nodes have generally stabilized. I could be wrong about that, but
yeah, I tried to run one or get one going, but it had to download the entire Bitcoin blockchain, and it 2/3 of the way through it crashed or something on me. So that was kind of a bummer. But what do you do? I mean, that's a ton of data. So was there a way to do it without all the needing the entire Bitcoin blockchain?
I do not have mine set up yet, so I am a hypocrite in that regard.
Okay, well, maybe you and I can work on that independently or something, because I'd like to do that eventually. Anyway, okay, let's move on here. We're getting sidetracked, although it's a good, interesting track. Okay, Infinity Wallet. Sam, tell us about that a little bit.
Sure. They claim on their website that they have an app on the iPhone. I have not seen it, even though they even have the iPhone store icon on the web page, but I have not seen that. I'm assuming it's coming out maybe soon. They're the company that they're the developers of Shard. But they have a great swap capability, is what I really like about it, with very reasonable fees, and the time to get it between chains tends to be under half hour, or even much quicker.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, it's great. I can bring Bitcoin on through Cash App, bring it in there, and then I can just just decide which kind of chain I want to go on to from there, and swing it into that, and then move it along as I need to. But it's you got to download it on your computer,
Okay.
and they claim to be DeFi. It's a function of, but when you sign up to initially sign up, they make you put in your email address for some reason, and I don't understand because that's not how you log in. But they, some reason, want to collect that. They do have an online chat help. One time I got a transaction stuck. It took someone, over an hour to actually show up on the chat, but they did, and they resolved my problem. So I can see them as a usable source that has a lot of functionality that's lacking at a lot of other places.
Wait, so what is this entity, or what does this?
Infinity Wallet.
Oh, I see. It's a wallet, and they actually give some support via chat.
True, yeah, but I mean, the main access is that you have a swap capability in between chains.
Okay, and you mentioned that you use it as an in-between bringing fiat onto the chain. So like we talked about a bridge.
Right.
Coinbase
yeah.
is
So I mean, I tend to use heavily Metamask, but you can do it however you want to swing it around. It's just Cash App's very easy for me to get Bitcoin. Bring it on. Through that process, I have no difficulties. It's a very straightforward process, very clean to bring it in that way. And
okay,
then,
just hold on, just for clarification, Cash App is different and separate from the Infinity Wallet.
correct.
So does the Infinity Wallet link to a bank account?
No.
Okay, so it
You
doesn't.
can, I believe you can do, like you can even on Metamask, you can do a purchase with a credit card if you choose to use that,
Okay, that's
pay or whatever.
Yeah, that's completely separate. Okay,
Separate, right.
Yeah, okay, let's not complicate. Okay,
Yeah,
so
sorry.
because the kind of the initial onboarding for a lot of folks is moving from their bank account to crypto. So I just want to make that clarification. So Cash App is good for that. Coinbase.
So what is Cash App? What exactly is Cash App?
Robert, that is it's just an app on your phone. They do have an interface on a computer, but it's only informational purposes. You can't, to the best of my, that I've tried to use it, it only shows you information. You can, log into your account, but you have to use it on your phone. So it's just like, it's like Venmo in a way. It's just simplified. It's clean. Venmo to me is very noisy, has a lot of distraction going on. They're trying to be more of a social network.
Yeah.
Are you talking about using the crypto on the Cash App? Because I know they have that feature, but are you just talking about moving your fiat basically through Cash App?
So my bank account is linked to my Cash App, and then when I want to get money onto the chain, I go buy Bitcoin, and then I immediately send it out to my Infinity Wallet. And from there, then I can, whatever project I'm working on, I can switch it into that chain, because it swaps between chains, which is a lot of times, with Trust Wallet, if you get Bitcoin, you can bring Bitcoin on a Trust Wallet, but you're stuck. You can't move it anywhere after that. You usually, in most cases, you would have to bring it to an exchange, your Bitcoin, to then get it into, and then go through that whole process, and which obviously is time consuming to me. And this tends to just be clean and a lot more straightforward and time saving.
Okay. So since you're using your own money, you're not having to pay any of the transaction fees on Cash App. Is that correct?
There are. It's like $5 to tends to be what I tend to be charged. Sometimes, okay, $1,000. I think it's more like $15. But again, versus I think even a small credit card transaction, like $300 on MoonPay or whatever, is usually over $20.
Right. Okay.
And so you have that with the Cash App fee, and then the fees that they charge. I mean, yesterday I switched some BNB to Ethereum, because I have to. The only reason I use Ethereum is to for Ledger, because when you create Ledger wallets, if I create new ones, I have to put more Ethereum on there. So that's the only reason I really do that. But but to do that, it was only like a they charge me like $5. So to get a coin into Ethereum for under $10, it's, you know, that's pretty amazing to me. So
Okay, and then when I know there's limitations on the amounts that you can transfer through Cash App with just the cash transfer piece of it, does that apply with how you're using it as well? Like, do you have to split it up during the days?
Yeah, no, I had heard some stories earlier last year of people struggling with having some kind of cap on what they could move in or move out, because I think people. But I
it's
think
like a per week limitation on. I think it's like maybe $1,500 or something per week.
Correct. Well, you know, Chris, they even advertise that, and so what I can tell you is just working with some friends that recently have wanted to get on the blockchain. Whatever that claim is that says you can do it without a KYC, which is what you're referring to, their limitations. That actually, I don't see it in existence anymore. I think that was something in their past. Now it seems to pretty much be, you have to provide an ID. They say it's going to take a few days to get back to you. It tends to be less than an hour. Don't quote me on that, but that's experiences I've had with friends. And so then when you do show them your ID, because you could, I think they might let you buy it, but so for instance, Venmo and what's the other one? PayPal. Stay away. That'd be like going to Robinhood. Don't go there to do anything with cryptocurrency, because you get locked in, and once you realize all you end up having to do is pay them fees to get your money back into fiat, because you can't let, they don't let crypto leave their environment. So.
Okay, thanks for that. I just asked because I actually ran into that a couple of weeks ago where I was still having that limitation. So
sure. So just if you haven't provided them your information and that's not a concern of yours, I would look into that, because I move. Some weeks I move thousands of dollars through there, and I have never gotten any kind of message from them.
Okay, great, thanks.
All right, good. Yeah, good question about the fees. Oh, go ahead, A.
Oh, sorry, that's Cash App that you moved fees through? Or that you moved things through? Okay. Thank you. I hate Venmo as well, so I appreciate it.
Right. I mean, it's just so loud and just distracting. And then I've had it exposes your personal information. It's ridiculous.
I got hacked with using PayPal, so I no longer use it.
Yeah.
They didn't even tell me.
See?
Jeez. Okay. Yeah. So the good point about the fees, because just, onboarding some funds or moving funds into crypto, the fees become an issue depending how you do it. So just in general, the least expensive way is going to be linking to a bank account. Anytime you use a card, debit card, credit card, there's going to be more fees there. So that's where Coinbase is good. Binance.us, you can link to a bank account and transfer the funds over. Crypto.com, you can do that as well. Kucoin, you cannot, because they don't allow you to link to a bank account. The one thing that you got to watch out for is sometimes they put a restriction on how soon you can move the funds off of the exchange. So say, for example, you move $500 from your bank account to Binance.us. In general, well, you can buy the different coins right away, but if you wanted to move the Bitcoin to a different wallet, they're going to make you wait 10 days before you can move the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, the BNB, whatever, off of their exchange onto your own wallet. So just so you know that ahead of time and you can plan. Crypto.com seems to be the least restrictive as far as limits or making you wait on that.
They do a whitelist on your if you add a new address, Brad. So they I think a new, I don't know if they were always using it, but definitely a newer function that a lot of people seem to be running into is if they don't have an existing wallet known to crypto.com, it tends to be a 24-hour wait period.
That just popped up. They kind of got hacked or something a couple of weeks ago, and they had to reset everybody's two-factor authentication, and then they seem to have added that 24-hour withdrawal time when you add a new address. So for sure on that. But
just
as far as
put that out there to people.
Yeah, no, that's good to know. Okay, look, got a few more questions.
What's
Keep going. BNB is a
What's
coin.
BNB?
It's the Binance
Oh, yeah,
coin.
what's it stand? Oh, okay.
Uh,
But that's the full name, BNB. It's,
BNB is the symbol. Yeah.
oh, and what's the
Yeah.
actual name of the coin?
Binance. I don't know.
It's,
Binance.
Everybody just calls it-
It's Binance's native coin to their blockchain.
So it's just called, the real name that people use is BNB, okay.
Correct.
Yeah, it's number, what are we at? Number 4 right here. So actually it looks like it's called BNB. That's the name,
It's
that's the
called
symbol.
Binance. It's called Binance Native Blockchain.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you. Now I
Thanks,
I
Scott.
put those words all together. Thank you.
Cool.
Oh,
All right,
it's
let's-
BNB, not BNB, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Somebody asked, okay, Christopher, any recommendations for a non-US based exchange and wallets? Wallets are not US specific or anything, that they're not country specific, because you're not doing anything, you're not putting in your address, you're not registering your your email, your phone, social, you don't do anything with that with wallets. That's all on you. So that's not required. Probably the best non-US based exchange would be Binance.com, because they're like the biggest, in the world and support the most coins. So that would probably be my recommendation. As far as that, if again, it comes down to if the exchange supports the coins that you want to buy or sell or use. So that's usually where you're going to start. So for example, since we've got this Kucoin, or I'm sorry, Coin Market Cap up. So for example, XRP has been a challenging one for people to get sometimes. So you can find out which exchanges support XRP by clicking on it there on CoinMarketCap, and then clicking on the market tab, and it will show you the exchanges that support that coin based on the amount of volume that they're doing. So number one here, Binance, and this, when you see just Binance, it's Binance.com. So they're doing 12% of the volume, and then you can go down from here. Generally, what you want to do is select an exchange closer to the top, just because they're doing more volume. So you should get quicker execution and better pricing on the coin. So Kucoin comes up number 3, and that's one that here in the US we can use, especially if we don't go through all the KYC. We can do a limited amount there. Other than that, you got to go down pretty far to maybe Kraken. Here in the US we can use Bitfinex. I don't really like them. But yeah, so that's how you're going to find out which exchanges you can use to buy or sell the coins that you're interested in. So that's another good resource that CoinMarketCap is used for. Ledger X is cold storage. Yep, that's one of the big boys in cold storage. Thanks, Edward. Yeah,
Now you
NFTs.
say, cold storage, is this a wallet or is this some other means of cold storage?
Cold storage is a type of wallet, and we call it cold because it's not connected to the internet.
Right, I understand that, but you're saying, so you're talking about wallets here.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
It's a
yeah, thank
physical
you.
form of the wallet, like kind of like a USB type of format,
Yeah,
like where you take it off, physically
A
take it off.
cold wallet does not have access to the internet or a blockchain. It has to be attached to the blockchain or the internet in order to make transactions. So it's a way to protect your assets from online snooping or attack directly.
Good. And yeah,
thank you.
NFTs, great. That's a whole nother ball of wax, Karen, we can talk about sometime for sure. Let's see. Does Trust use Lightning? I don't know. That would be, if anybody has any wallets. Yeah, Edward posted some. Yeah, Lightning, will have to kind of maybe revisit that. Especially
Before you guys get too far ahead, what is Lightning? Is it an app? Is it an exchange? Did I miss something there?
let me start
Lightning
here.
is a side chain. Lightning is a side chain.
Yeah, it basically runs on top of an existing network, and it does additional functionality. So Bitcoin and Litecoin have been working with Lightning. There may be other coins as well. But the idea is that it's you can do the transactions faster and less expensive because they don't get written to the blockchain right away or at all.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
All right, I'm not sure how I got to this site. Okay, let me keep going here. Any way to reduce gas fees when moving coins from exchange to wallet? Sometimes they give you an option of you know, standard speed, lower speed, or faster speeds, and then you know, the slower it goes, the less expensive it is. And some of that is dependent on the exchange. The one downside to crypto.com, they seem to offer or charge higher fees for lower amounts. So I moved 0.1 of a BNB off of crypto.com and they charged 0.01 of a fee. Or no, I did 0.2 and they charged me 0.02. So that was like a 10%, which is crazy. You know, I mean, we might as well use a stupid bank at the corner for that. But then when I transferred like a half a BNB, they only charged 0.01. So it was less expensive to transfer more. So in that case, those are fees that are coming from the exchange, not the network. So just to kind of differentiate there. Fortunately, they usually disclose those fees, both or all of them, when we're setting up the withdrawal, you know, that kind of thing. But as far as reducing the fees, the only choice would be is if you can, you know, slow down the transaction type of thing.
You can go to Ethereum gas trackers and find out when their fees are lower. There are other gas trackers, but Ethereum's the big one. If you look on a gas tracker, you can find out what the current fees are. You can also find out what the average fees are at a particular time of day or a particular day of week. And you can use this information to find out when there's less traffic and do your transaction when fees are lower because there's less traffic.
Great
Yeah.
tool.
Isn't it usually like Sunday mornings were like the cheapest because everybody's hungover and sleeping or something like that?
Yeah,
So
yeah, early morning is a low fee time for us in the West Coast time zone.
Okay, good. All right, let's see. I'm still getting there on the questions. So Binance, let's see. Fabio, are you on here? I've got down to your question. I don't know if I see you on.
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Brad.
Okay, yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
So repeat your question here for everybody that you got in chat, and then let's talk about this for a second.
Okay, so I swapped Binance using Kucoin on Trust Wallet, and I did purchase the True Badger. It went through okay. It was perfect. Thank you. You helped me, Brad.
Okay.
But I tried to do the same with purchasing or swapping for Saitama. And I guess I didn't select, I just saw the name and I clicked okay. So I don't see the Saitama in my wallet. And I Googled it a little bit and I think there is an issue where instead of BEP2, I didn't select the right settings. Pretty much I didn't put the wrong address. Because if I go to swap it back, if I use Kucoin and try to swap Saitama to whatever, I can see that.
So that just means that it's not visible in your wallet. You need to add a contract address.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I had a friend do that in Binance.
Yeah, in Trust Wallet, in the upper right corner, there's the three little dots. Are they three dots that you can tap on, and then you can turn on and off which coins show up on the home page, because it's, you know, it supports like 100 coins, but you don't necessarily need them all.
I did that. I thought I did that.
Oh, okay.
But it still doesn't show in the wallet. I wonder if there is any other setting that can be easily enabled, or
you should go back to the scan of the transaction and verify the wallet address matches the wallet address on your Saitama receive.
But, so do you have two icons for the BNB on your Trust Wallet?
Well, I think he's made the transaction going through, so it's a matter of getting this Saitama to show up. But like Scott said, look on the block explorer to see if the address where the funds went to is your address.
It is my address, but answering to the other question, I think I do have two BNB, and one is a smart chain and the other one is just BNB, and that probably is the issue. I don't know how to really word it correctly, but I think I used the wrong BNB. I don't know if that makes sense.
So the first thing to do is look at your transaction and verify success or failure or pending. Find out the status of the transaction to find out if you made the trade. If you made the trade, you made the trade, then the scan information will tell you the contract, the token, the amounts, and the destinations. So that will give you everything you need to know that it came to you. If you see it on Kucoin when you want to do a trade, then it's just not turned on in your wallet. So most likely your trade is successful, but what you need now is you need the contract address of that coin to verify that it matches the one that you're trying to look at in Trust Wallet.
Yeah, but you're saying you did the swap within the Trust Wallet?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm looking at mine and I don't see that coin in the wallet, and I tried to do a swap from BNB to that, and I don't even see that it's coming up.
Using Kucoin? Oh, it doesn't matter what.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were using the swap function within the Trust Wallet. You use Kucoin. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So then, yeah, that makes more sense. So you need, you might need to use Metamask where you can add. Scott, I haven't added manually. Wait a minute.
You can easily add tokens to Trust Wallet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
The bottom import token, you need the contract address. You got to have the contract address. That's why I said go to the scan record for the transaction and
where do I see the scan
contract
record
address for Saitama.
Yeah,
okay.
Can you put in your BNB address in chat, and we can show that on the screen here real quick. I can share that with you. Is that something you can do? Maybe work on that for a second. Let me go to the next question, and if you can do that, I can show you live. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I missed the fact that you had done it on Kucoin. That threw me for a second here. All right, Karen, the first physical house in the US sold as an NFT is here in Tampa. Excellent. Okay, sorry, that was the other Karen. Yeah, she's in Florida. Gas tracker, good. Oh, I think that into the end of the questions. Cool. Okay, yeah, Fabio, if you can post that in there, we can take a peek at that.
I don't have Trust Wallet on the same phone I'm calling. I'm attending, so it would be time consuming.
Okay. Let me try to do that just to illustrate. Let me grab my one of my addresses here. Come on, Metamask. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to bscscan.com, and I'm going to paste in my wallet address right here. And we can see these are the transactions that I've done. But what you're going to want to do is click over on this BEP20 token transactions. These are all the different tokens. Like here, Safu Fide. I think it looks like somebody gave me Milky Swap, which are just trying to hack me. But for example, this was a while ago. Okay, so this is the Safu Fide token right here, is where 66 days ago I bought this many of them. So if we click on the Safufied token, it takes us to the page for that token. And here's the contract address, which looks like a wallet address, but that's the contract address. So what we would do is copy that and then scroll down on the bottom of, let's see, so let me back up. So starting at the home page of the Trust Wallet, there's two little circles in the upper right. You're going to tap on that and then that's going to show you all those tokens where you can turn them on and off. You're going to scroll down to the very bottom and it says add custom token. And then do you see that?
The address. Yes. That's great.
Yeah. Now, I'm on the Android and the iPhone works a little different.
I'm Android.
Okay, that should work. Sometimes what happens there, you'll be on the wrong network. So if you see like an Ethereum network on that add custom tokens page, you need to change that to BNB. Otherwise,
also be aware that you need to make sure you do not try to populate those numbers and information if you do not know. Paste the address and let it fetch those numbers for you, the decimals and the ticker name, the symbol. If it doesn't find them, you need to go find them and enter them the way they're supposed to be, because entering that incorrectly will give you bad data.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you give it a few seconds, it should pre-populate for you. So just, be patient for a few seconds kind of thing.
Absolutely.
It seems to take longer in MetaMask than it does in Trust. I don't know why, but just be patient. It should populate.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, good. No, that's always good to solve those specific problems. Okay. It seems like we talked quite a bit more about wallets. Anybody have any input on exchanges, good or bad? We'll talk about that for a few minutes and then call it good here. Any newer exchanges you guys have used that maybe we haven't heard about?
Guys, while you're waiting, ask a quick question. So is MetaMask and Coinbase, are those sort of the two dominant exchanges?
No. Well, Coinbase is a dominant exchange in the sense that a lot of people use it to onboard to get their crypto or their fiat into crypto. But as far as for trading, like active trading, not as much.
Well, let's back up a second. In the US, Coinbase has the highest volume. In the world, Binance has the highest volume. So if you're talking about a US customer, Coinbase is the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Coinbase is the best way to on-ramp. It's the best way to bring in new users. It's the easiest to understand and it's the easiest to start learning from. So it's an excellent place to get started if that's something that works for you. Some people are really have a problem with them for some reason or another, or they've had bad history or something, but they are by far the right choice if you just don't know and you're going to go try somebody. They let you trade a swap between coins without paying fees. If they're floating cryptos, if they're stable coins, it's different. If it's fiat, it's different. But if you wanted to be in Polygon and then you changed your mind and decided you wanted to move it to ETH, there's literally no fees. It's only slippage and a very, very small transaction fee on their ledger, which is like pennies or less. So that's a great place to start. And it doesn't require any knowledge about wallets. You don't have to figure out seed phrases or secret passwords, and you don't have to worry about giving up your stuff and having it disappear. You have a sign-on to a central Web 2 place, and it gives you access to a wide variety of cryptos for you to learn and play with. After that, and you start stretching out and your brain wants to grow some more, or you want a headache more, then you're going to want your own wallet. MetaMask is the largest self-custody wallet in the world. That's the one that has a broad range of activity and action happening on it, and it works with a wide variety of blockchains. That said, MetaMask doesn't work everywhere. Coinbase doesn't have every coin. So at this point, I probably have 12 to 15 wallets. And do I like that? I don't like that. But some of them, I don't have a choice. I'm on the Flow blockchain because I have some NFTs on the Flow blockchain. And the only choices I had were Flow-based wallets. So I ended up on C98. Coin98 is a weird wallet I never heard of before, but Now I have $100 and 8 NFTs in that wallet. That's how you end up with a ton of wallets.
Yeah.
But if you're starting from zero and you're trying to get into the game, Coinbase or Kraken are nice places to start. I like Coinbase better really than anybody else because of the fact that you can get in and out in an instant, and they're even FDIC insured for any fiat you have on the platform. That should tell you something about their reliability and give you more confidence about doing things like giving them your bank information or your social security number. Okay. When you're talking about something like MetaMask, not your keys, not your crypto. You lose your keys, you lose your crypto. That's how it works. So you are responsible for maintaining and managing your funds, just like the bank is responsible for securing your funds. When you go deposit your check there and you come back next week, you expect your check to still be there and available for you. And if you do that in the wrong way in the MetaMask wallet, or you forget the key to open the door, then it's not your money anymore. So these are real things that people have to get used to when you're starting to think about getting into crypto and getting a wallet and getting an exchange account, playing games. And the other thing is you're going to start hearing about things from everybody and his brother is going to tell you about this great new game-changing, world-shaking, awesome new opportunity. And it's not going to be on the wallet or the exchange that you have. That's just how it works. I can't tell you how many times that I've gone to go get something and go, holy crap, who is that? Well, I don't understand anymore. Wait, I got to buy a what to buy a what? But all I want is this coin, or all I want is this opportunity. And I ended up going down. Some of these things took me weeks to solve. And then I solve it and I get in there and I think, wow, that was really awesome that I got in there. And then I lose interest in that one and move on to something else. And now I've got $50 in some weird thing on a wallet I never use again. That's just how crypto works.
Yeah. That's exactly right. That's a great. You illustrated that very well, and I just have to laugh because I'm like, I've been there, done that, and it's just how it is. Yeah, Karen's laughing too. Yeah.
And once you get out of that part about, oh, I'm worried about I'm spending $10 to send this thing from here to my private wallet, or I don't know if I'm ready to invest $350 in this weird NFT I never heard of. I mean, after you get past this stuff and you start realizing that if I'd have got in when I said, ooh, it looks like I want to get in, and I would have won. And if I don't get in, then I don't win. And I watched too many things 3x and 5x in front of me, and I didn't trigger fast enough. I didn't trigger hard enough. I didn't try hard enough to get in. I didn't put enough in. So many different ways to not win while everybody's winning, but to get started and to work your way in, you need things you can understand and you can relate to, and then you add on your knowledge. And so that's why I like Coinbase to start. And it lets you think about crypto. It lets you talk about crypto. You start finding out about more things. You start reading more articles. You start noticing more things. And then you can start getting into something like a MetaMask wallet or a Coinomi or a whatever wallet it is, your MyEther wallet, your Kepler wallet, your Infinity wallet. There's so many wallets. I would tell you to not worry about the wallet as much as worrying about the project that you want to hold in the wallet. Because if you're after Celsius, then you're after Celsius, and you need a wallet that holds Celsius. And it doesn't matter whether you have a MetaMask wallet or a Trust wallet or anybody else's wallet. If it doesn't hold Celsius, you're going to need another one.
Yeah.
So the focus is not on the wallet or the exchange. So for those things, start with the big boys and then work your way down into the things that you have to get what you want. Because as you become knowledgeable, you'll become more selective. I have interest in things like decentralized streaming media is something that I think holds a lot of promise in the near future to grow. And so I'm invested in that, and I want to invest in more of that. And so when I find that and I see that, I say, how do I get into this? Not is it on the things I have, but how do I get in, and what do I do to be a player? Because I want to get in hard enough and fast enough in the things that I can understand and believe in, so that I can win when they win. And after that, it's all about pain tolerance.
Yeah, it's a whole another part of it. Yeah. But Robert, I think, yeah, just like Scott said, the Coinbase is going to be the place to start. And then I don't know how much you've done. I know you've been on a few times, or how much you've done in between the meetings. But if you haven't started with Coinbase, start there and just start looking around. They even have some education things where you'll watch a video and take a quiz, and they give you a couple bucks in different tokens for free, kind of thing. So start there, and you got to start somewhere. I've seen too many people that have been on for 6 months and they're still haven't started. It's like, you got to at least take a step out the door. Once you get out the door, you can decide to go left or right. But until you get out the door.
Coinbase is super low pain entry for one really simple reason. Once you get over the pain of giving the information, you can buy as little as $5-10 worth. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm going to go put $500 in. The first Bitcoin I bought, I spent $50. The first non-Bitcoin crypto I bought $10. Okay. So I didn't go in there thinking I'm going to put my life savings in here. I went in there going, hey, somebody convinced me that I needed to put a little money in here, and how little money can I really put in here and actually be putting something in. And what I was asked to do was put $100 in, and I wouldn't even do that the first transaction. I did it. I followed it up with another $50 investment, but then I didn't invest in anything for a couple of weeks. I just started reading. And after that, I found something. I said, I'm going to just put $10 in. That's 2 cups of coffee, man. That's not even lunch anymore. I mean, really, if I bring a sandwich to lunch, I might could put $5 or $7 into a crypto and still not lose anything. Well, some of those $5, $10, $20 entries that I went into went to $60, $80, $100. One of them, I put $150 in and it went to $4,900. And I wasn't smart enough to trigger and sell the damn thing. And I watched it fall back down under 3 before I even sold a dime of it. But I felt like I have to learn before I just do, right? So I get in and I hold. Everybody says, hold the stuff, hold the stuff. So I hold the stuff. And some of that has been a win and some of that hasn't, as you can see from the market. But in general, they go up over time. And so the Bitcoin that I bought when I bought $50 worth, it was $10,400 for a Bitcoin. So you can figure out how much my $50 is worth now from what it's worth today. And I haven't sold that. I haven't traded that. I've just held on to it. But it's unrealized gain until you sell it. When you sell it, you're out. And it's like having a house and people tell you your house has gone up. It's worth $500,000 now. Well, that's awesome. But where the freak am I going to live after I sell my house? If every house is $500,000 house, I guess the rent's going to be pretty high too. So, I'm looking at it as a long-term thing. But I also know that the smaller guys grow faster and the big guys, it's harder for them to grow. So I have Bitcoin because I believe in it and it is a major thing for me. But I also have things you've never heard of. And I mean that with all sincerity, of things that you've never heard of.
Yeah, those are the fun ones down the road. Yeah.
So you're saying it's safe to just leave like cash sitting in or things sitting in Coinbase, whereas it seems
no. What I said was they're FDIC insured for fiat currency held on their platform. That means if you take $1,000 and you put it into Coinbase and it's USD on their platform, then it's FDIC insured. They are custodian. They are bank regulatory, federal bank regulations, banks for you for your fiat. So they meet those requirements. But once you convert that to crypto, then your insurance is based on their security and their insurance policies. Now, the truth of somebody like Coinbase is that they only have about 2% or less of their assets in hot wallets. The rest are in cold storage because the majority of what's on the platform stays on the platform. Just because I decide to sell my Solana and buy some Bitcoin Cash doesn't mean that they have to make any on-chain transactions whatsoever. So from their standpoint, they're a centralized ledger and they're just moving my asset value from location to location and doing it with a computer. and they're managing all the trust for that relationship because they're a centralized authority for that information. When you talk about a on-chain, you have to pay gas fees and have transactions because that's how the information gets stored and secured. Being on a pending transaction, hasn't occurred yet, and the gas hasn't been paid. So, you can do a lot somewhere like Coinbase, but they're not guaranteeing your crypto. They're a federal bank. They've reached bank status in the US. So for bank-like assets, which is dollars, they follow bank-like rules and they're FDIC insured.
Yeah, and they're also publicly held, so they're not, they're not just some fly-by-night company. They're, they're pretty good sized.
And for all the stuff you hear about, all the problems that are going on in crypto and all the scams for this and that and the other, man, pay attention to how much money we're talking about, for Pete's sake. We're talking about a market that's around 2 trillion, and we're talking about assets where they talk about, oh, it was an $800 million hack. And then you have to read, but you read 3 to 5 weeks later and you find out, well, it wasn't really 800 million that was lost. It was originally 800 million that was moved. But because those movements were traced through the blockchain, they were able to stop those funds from being cashed in from somebody like a mixer. Most of the funds were recovered. That's not sensational, so it doesn't make the news, so you don't hear it. But you did hear $800 million hack. Oh yeah, oh my God, it's such an unsafe place. And if you want to get an idea how much more crypto you know than the average Joe, then go take a look at the Senate hearings just recently, and when they start talking about crypto, and you're going to start laughing at how little your politicians know. You'll be thinking more about who to vote for next time, because these guys are real clowns, man. They're coming up with 5-year-old FUD to try and throw at the industry for regulations. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah. What was the second? You mentioned to start with either Coinbase or what was the other one?
Oh, well,
Kraken
is not available in every state in the US. So if you're in Washington State, you can't use it. If you're in, I don't know if it's New York or New Jersey, but there's a couple of states you can't use that. And then Binance, there's a few states you can't use Binance in. Onboarding on Binance is very difficult. Kraken is slow but methodical. Kucoin is not bad. I personally, I on-ramp everything at Coinbase and I move crypto. I don't care to play games with giving everybody my bank numbers. So, and I don't have the confidence to attach them to my bank, to be honest. So I have done this for years, is I have a separate account that I put money in to transfer it onto the internet. And then that money is on the internet. There's no overdraft protection. There's no credit. There's no nothing. It's not linked to my personal accounts. It's a personal account of mine, but it is not in any way financially connected to anywhere else. So it's got less than $100 in it right now. And when it's got more than $100 in it, I move the $100 somewhere in the crypto land. And so that way there's a place to get the money in and out, but crypto moves fast and money moves slow. When you want to go and make a deposit, it's because you want to go buy a crypto. And a lot of people are getting hung up on this thing about, oh, well, the platform makes me wait 5 days or 6 days or whatever for my funds to be moved. Okay, you can buy the crypto from them, but you can't send that crypto somewhere else to use it to buy the one that you want that they don't sell. So the way to solve that is to keep a little bit of crypto on their platform. So I keep at least $1,000 worth of Coinbase sitting, Bitcoin sitting on Coinbase, so that when I go and put $100 in, I can immediately move it into a crypto and move that crypto to a DEX or to a self-custody wallet or wherever else I want to put it. And it happens in seconds. Instead of having to play this game of, oh, I didn't put my money in early enough, I can't meet the mint time because the money can't be moved. You eliminate all these issues by putting a little bit there and leaving it there, and then they just hold on to some of that. So if you had $1,000 in Bitcoin in and you put $500 in cash, and then you wanted to move that, buy ETH with that $500 and then move that $500 worth of ETH to your Metamask wallet, Well, you could do that, but then all they're just going to do is attach to $500 worth of that Bitcoin that's sitting on the platform for 5 days until the money's cleared all the banking stuff. But that just means that I can go and say, hey, I decided I'm interested in this new thing that I found. This XYZ coin looks awesome and it's going up right now. I need to get it right now. Oh, well, I can only get it on Pancake Swap on Binance. Okay, what do I got to get some money in there. Well, Coinbase doesn't do Binance. Okay, so go to Coinbase and put the money in and buy Bitcoin. And then take the Bitcoin and send the Bitcoin to somewhere like Bitney and trade that for BNB and have that BNB sent to my Metamask wallet. So now I got the $500 minus some fees into my Metamask wallet, and now I can use it wherever I can use the BNB. And so Pancake Swap's available in Metamask. So I go to Pancake Swap and then I get that weird coin that's on the Binance chain that nobody's ever heard of. And I get it in 10 minutes or 30. Bitcoin's a little slow sometimes. So,
Yeah.
But my point is you're not waiting to play the game of on-ramping your money. And you have this nice stable thing it's a place where you can go, hey, I'm just going to put my $500 in there and I don't know what I'm going to buy yet, but I'm going to put it in there and I'm going to wait. So you can do that and your money is safe. It's like putting it in your own bank.
I have a weird question. Just, you mentioned there's certain exchanges that certain states won't let you participate in. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Right. How does that work? For instance, if I was living, how do they even know what state you're in if you're online?
Centralized exchanges require KYC, and that means that they're going to want to see a copy of your driver's license front and back. They're going to want to see a utility bill that shows an address. They're going to want to see a countersigned rental agreement, something like that. Okay. They're going to want proof of where you live. Now, they can't help it once you become a customer when you move unless they can prove it different. But if you don't change anything online after you create the account, then you have an account with them. And the way that they work is they have to meet federal law, but they also have to meet state law. And not all states have laws that are clear enough to allow cryptocurrencies to occur under the guidelines of whatever corporate charter that company works under. And the odd example is the one that's right here for me, because I live close to the border of Washington and Idaho. I live in Idaho and people I know live in Washington. And you can have Binance in Washington, but you can't have Kraken. And you can have Kraken in Idaho, but you can't have Binance. And so when we meet up and have our crypto groups and talk, we have to talk about whether or not you can have it before we can talk about what you can do with it.
Okay. And thank you so much for that clarification.
Yeah, no problem. And you can look that up pretty easily when you go to central exchanges. They'll tell you what they're compatible with. And then the decentralized exchanges don't care. It doesn't matter whether you're in an individual state. They care about countries in some cases, but in most cases they don't. And when they care about where you're from, they're technically not a decentralized exchange. So examples of that would be like IDEX or DYDX, where they say they're a decentralized exchange, but they have the ability to lock people out based on their location, and they're not decentralized.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. And so just to kind of wrap that up in a ball and easy thing for you to do there, Robert, is just start with Coinbase. And just get started there. We've got Edward on, is going to share a little bit about.
I might mention I had a sort of a company I was involved with, and they kind of collapsed, but for some reason they had a bunch of Vuko coins which are in MetaMask, and so I don't know anything about it. How do I want to at least move those coins somewhere where they're safe? Are they safe sitting in MetaMask?
Yes. Yeah. And we can get into that a little more later. We've got to kind of wrap it up here. And
sure. Okay. Thank you very much.
Edward's going to share a little bit about an event coming up here. Edward, jump in and let me jump on the site here. Which one should I go to share that on the screen?
Just go to bitcoinday.io and you can click on Sacramento there.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and tell us about what's going on here.
So yeah, next in a couple weeks, February 19th, we have, so Bitcoinday is basically going all over the country over the course of this year, and then next year we'll go to different cities, just traveling around and providing education, chance to network and meet other Bitcoiners. And so so we're coming to Sacramento to Roseville. We'll be at the grounds there all day on Saturday on the 19th, and got people coming from around the region to speak, and then people coming from around the country to speak as well. So it's a fun day, and get to do some hands-on, there's like a Bitcoin 101 table, for instance, where you can do some hands-on stuff with wallets and get a lot of your questions answered, kind of like this, but in person, and different crowd than you might be used to. So
Yeah, a lot going on. You've got 2 speakers going on at once. So it looks like there's plenty for everybody and almost too much to take everything in, but I guess we'll try.
yeah, the goal is to make it feel like it's more than, it's not Bitcoin 22. It's not, it's not huge. You don't have to hop on a plane or anything, but the tickets are $150. And then there's a discount code. I think Fresno is the discount code for you guys. And then, so yeah, the goal is to make it bigger than a meetup, right? But not huge like Bitcoin 22.
Excellent, excellent. And so you're kind of shooting to do these, like, it was about every other month was one, kind of,
Yep.
and then moving them around the country is a basic idea.
Yep, 6 or 7. So we're trying to go to cities that wouldn't normally have a conference like this, that wouldn't, Las Vegas and Miami, those places, those are not where we're going. We're going to the million person
Population.
cities, are a little lower. Yeah.
Right, right. Good. Okay. Well, thanks
Cool.
for sharing, and hopefully as many of us can make it up there as possible, and if not, maybe catch the next one. And
Yeah.
and that
Thanks for
kind of
letting
thing.
thanks for letting me mention it. It was good to be here.
Yeah, no, glad to have you, and glad to have everybody else on. I'll put the link to this recording in the comments section on the event page on Meetup, and we will actually, Karen mentioned the NFTs. I'm trying to get somebody from my Telegram channel to share a little bit about what she's been doing, investing, as well as her handle is NFT Girl. So she should be able to share a little bit about NFTs as well. So any other topics you guys want to discuss, shoot me an email, info@fresnobitcoin.com, or you can contact me through Meetup, or just comment on the event pages would be great, so other people can chime in and with their comments as well. So anything to add there, Karen? I saw you unmuted.
No, just I'm really interested in learning about those NFTs because I keep hearing about them, but I'm scared to take the jump.
Yeah, no, it could. Yeah, I'm with you. That's a great way to describe it. So good. All right, everybody. Oh, go ahead. Was that Edward?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was somebody else, but I had one more thing to add. Go ahead.
Sure, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the goal is, I wanted to clarify. So hopefully we'll have, the goal is that if people come from Fresno, that we'll be promoting the meetup, and so hopefully you guys will, hopefully there will be a good, decent contingent from Fresno, but hopefully the meetup will grow, because we're only here for one day, right, in Sacramento, and so we want to support the community and kind of give it a little like shot in the arm, if you will, and raise awareness, and then hopefully have people come to the meetup after that. So hopefully you'll see some new faces from it. So that's all.
Awesome. Thanks again. All right, everybody. We will see you in a month, and hopefully online and chatting a little bit between now and then. So have a good rest of your day.
What date next month yet? Is it the date yet?
I don't have it next month, but hope to do that real quick. But
Sure.
usually about the second Saturday of the month is kind of where we're at, unless it's like Mother's Day or something crazy like that. So we'll get it on there, and I'll shoot out the email too. All right,
Brad.
guys. Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining, and we'll talk soon.
You.
Yeah, thanks so much.